following is a presentation of SC State Athletics.
It's the season opener for the South Carolina State Bulldogs in the MEAC SWAC Challenge in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. It's billed as a battle of the bluff, and for good reason. The Jaguars' high-powered offense led the SWAC at almost 40 points a game, while the Bulldog defense allowed just 13 points a game against its MEAC opponents. Who will rule the bluff? We're about to find out. Coming up next on the Buddy Pough Show.
You're watching the Buddy Pough Show, featuring highlights of SC State University Bulldogs football. This week's matchup, your SC State University Bulldogs versus the Southern University Jaguars. Our sponsors are the County of Orangeburg, Palmetto Health, the South Carolina Education Lottery, the Regional Medical Center, State Farm Insurance Russ Hewitt Agency, Simmons Funeral Home, Vital Care EMS, and the City of Orangeburg. And now our host, Ernest Robinson.
For Coach Buddy Pough and the South Carolina State Bulldogs, it's their fourth time in the annual MEAC SWAC Challenge. In the past, those wins came in Orlando, Florida, a neutral site. A couple of years ago, they moved the MEAC SWAC Challenge to the home field of one of the participating schools. This year's game is in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, home of the Southern Jaguars, which changes the preparation for Coach Buddy Pough and the Bulldogs.
Well, it's not a neutral site deal, so you got a little bit of an advantage for the home team. But at the same time, you know, it's the first game of the year. We don't know much about each other. It's a fun time of the year. We're so excited about playing, we don't care where we play.
I tell you what, Coach, you're talking about fun time. You've got a new look offense. It's going to be different from you. No experience at quarterback. DeJuan Ford getting his first start. Some inexperienced running backs there getting their first start. Talk about your offense and how you'll manufacture points here today.
Well, we started off the preseason thinking that we were really going to be weak in the offensive line. And over the course of the entire preseason, it's been a pleasant surprise for us. So we think we can run the football. And if that's the case, then we want to do a little option stuff with our quarterback, run around a little bit, you know, get him on the move in the throw game because he's not quite the accurate guy, you know, that we've had in the past. But at the same time, if we can create enough space for him with our receivers that way, then we expect to be able to get him to throw the ball pretty good.
As we have questions on offense, there seems to be no questions on defense. When you start talking about Darius Leonard, he won every Defensive Player of the Year award you could win last year in this division of football. Talk about Darius Leonard and Deshaun Taylor and this defense, which look to do some big things here today.
Well, that middle part of our defense is the strength of our returning defense. And we've got some good up front guys, too. We're a little bit young in the secondary, but we hope that Darius and that crowd and Paul McKeever and some of those guys up front can create enough havoc that we don't necessarily have a lot of time to give people the chance to pick out our young secondary. So, you know, we expect them to get after folk that way. And if that's the case, then this should be the kind of defense that we expect them to be.
Coach, Austin Howard's the second best quarterback, they say, last year in the SWAC conference. Many people feel he may have been the best. They average almost 40 points a game, but they lost a lot other than the quarterback. How do you stop the Southern offense?
Well, they lost a receiver that had about 1,000 yards. They had a running back that had about 1,700 yards. So they've lost some key ingredients. But all you need is a good dog and a good wife and a quarterback to have a good football team. And, you know, they got a quarterback, so we better bet, you know, we better be on our P's and Q's because this guy can really play.
Coach, when you look at this game today, what will it take for you to pull off a win here today in Southern and Baton Rouge?
Our offense has got to get going. We got to be able to run the football. If we can't run the football, then this offense won't be good. And at the same time, our defense got to continue to play hard like it usually does.
Let's go to Saturday's first half highlights, Southern and South Carolina State, the MEAC SWAC Challenge. Scandrick gets the indication and he approaches. It is a high end-over-end kick. It is going to be Danny Johnson from the 6-yard line. At the 10, he's at the 15, up the left side at the 20, at the 25. Cuts outside at the 30. Is picked up and slung down to the ground. Making the tackle for South Carolina State, Demontrez Burrows. Long snap, got Howard with the snap. Looks like it's an end around. Now it looks like it may be a pass, going back to pass and keeping the football himself on the carry. That is number 87, Randall Menard. Football on the near side, 3rd down and 3. Snap back to the quarterback, Howard, looking over the middle. Throwing it now. It is caught on the left-hand side up to about the 30-yard line. That was Herb Edwards. Pistol formation for Dwayne Ford. DeJuan, play action fake. He's going to throw. Reverses out, throws it out there, and is over the head. He had open first punt of Cliff Benjamin's career. Johnson, the snap, good snap. Left-footed putter. My goodness gracious. I can see why he is the punter. Good gracious, back to the 30-yard line. 3 Jags are to the right, 1 to the left. Shotgun formation, there's a snap. Howard back to pass. Pressure coming up the middle. Howard in trouble. Howard hit as he throws it, but it's completed. Over on the left side, and with the football making that reception, that is going to be Dylan Beer. Looks like 42. No score first quarter, Southern and the South Carolina State. Inside handoff, Edwards. Edwards waits for a block, gets up the middle, cuts right, now back to the left. 5, touchdown. So with 6:59 to go in the first quarter, Southern's on the board first. 7 for the Jaguars, nothing for South Carolina State. 1st and 10 from our own 25-yard line. Ford keeps himself option play. Ford not getting much. 2 receivers are right, 1 left. H back to the left. Ford from the shotgun. Ford throwing it out there. It is thrown a little too high for Demontrez Burrows. Ford back to pass. Here comes the blitz. Penalty marker down. Ford's wrapped up, and Ford goes down. Ishmael to snap. Ford back to pass. Blitz coming. Ford stands in, throws. It's caught by Burrows, but Burrows was pushed backwards. Forward progress is not going to give him enough for a first down. Shotgun formation. 2nd down now, 6 they call it. Howard back to pass. Under pressure. Howard wrap. Loses the football. It's on the turf. It's recovered by Southern at the line of scrimmage. Austin Ruger sets up on the right side as the H-back. Play action fake. They throw it into the flank. Demontrez Burrows. Burrows trying to cut back inside. Burrows trying to get outside. Needs a block. Gets a big block. Cuts inside at the 50, at the 45. Demontrez Burrows, he must have run 35 yards to pick up 9, but that's our best play of the game. In the shotgun is DeJuan Ford. Give inside to Trey Samuels. He's running to the right. Trying to get outside. Cuts back inside. Samuels stays on his feet at the 35. Down at the 30. Down at the 25-yard line. Scandrick. There's a snap. His toe is in it. It is up. It is strong. It is up, and it is through. It is good. So after 1 quarter of play, our score, Southern 7, South Carolina State 3. Little unusual formation. 9 players tight to the line of scrimmage. Only the running back and Howard in the backfield. All the receivers, 2 twin sets tight to the line of scrimmage. Tough to cover defensively. Howard back to pass. Quick throw. Howard throws it over the middle. Caught wide open over the middle. On the reception. Baxley there for the tackle. 3 down linemen. Bulldogs not showing pressure yet. Here comes pressure, though. Howard back to pass, throws it out there, has the man out there. It is caught. What a tremendous catch. Howard with this rollout to the left side. Austin Howard will walk into the end zone. Our score, 10:49 to go here in the first half. Southern 14, South Carolina State 3. Boy, did Austin Howard hit a target. It was right at the sidelines. That pass batted up in the air, and there's the turnover. Intercepted. Deshaun Taylor with the interception of the batted ball, and it was about time we come up with one. First turnover of the game. It comes from the senior from Lincolnton, Georgia. Football on the far side. We're attacking right to left. Forward. Shotgun snap. Throws it out in the flat. Has a man out there caught. Demontrez Burrows fights. Gets the first down. Stays on his feet. Gets inside the 30. Down to the 27-yard line. From the shotgun. Forward. End around play. And they throw a screen, and it's wide open on the right side. 25 as Datron James gets down to about the that's Datron James down to about the 17-yard line, and the clock expires. They did not get the timeout call. Now the officials are talking. They may have gotten the timeout call. His toe is in it. It is up, and it is good. And the score at the end of the first half, Southern 14, South Carolina State 6. We'll be back with Coach Pough and our Palmetto Health Injury Report after these messages.
Our sports medicine services are unique because everything we do is driven by education and by research.
We pretty much take care of all the Midlands. We have all the colleges from USC, South Carolina State, Benedict, Newberry.
Everything is designed to bring our resources closer to the patient, closer to the physician, so we can provide excellent care.
Our goal is to get you into our system and back into activity as quick as we can.
I think patients choose us because of the team atmosphere we have here at Palmetto Health USC Orthopedic Center.
Since 2002, the lottery has helped award more than 1 million scholarships. So when you play, you're not just taking a chance, you're also giving one.
I was off my game. Every day, my hip got worse and worse.
The coach's arthritis progressed to the point where his joint was bone on bone. Between the pain and the loss of range of motion, he decided to have the hip replaced here at the Regional Medical Center.
I was walking the very next day. I was going so fast, they said, "Slow down, coach, slow down." It feels great to be coaching again.
The Regional Medical Center. We're changing how you think about health care.
Uh-oh, you stumble over a blade of grass. Come on.
Coach, in the first half, this game went like we thought it might go. Southern was able to generate some offense. We weren't able to generate some offense, but our defense kept us in the football game.
You're exactly right, Ernest. We needed our defense to keep us in the game, too, because we didn't do much of anything offensively. We got a score right at the end of the half that got us back within sort of one score. So I was really happy with the fact that we were as close as we were, as poorly as we played on offense the first half.
You look at the first half and look at some of the things that sort of kept us in the football game. It was the special teams. Cliff Benjamin came in, first-time punter. I thought did a really good job, really under some pressure situations because they had 10 guys coming at him, and he got off some pretty good punts.
He did. Cliff has done a nice job this preseason of adding another little dimension. He's a left footer too, so I think it gives a little bit different twist than a regular punter does. So he averaged, I guess, maybe about 30-some odd punts, and he didn't quite net that much because he had one kick that was into the end zone, but at the same time, he does seem like he's going to be a good punter for us for years to come.
You did have an opportunity to score. You had an opportunity at the end of the first quarter. Tyler Scandrick knocked it down. At the end of the first half, Scandrick knocked it down again. And one thing that I noticed about Scandrick was it was explosive off his foot.
He did. He was really good, I thought, and got into the game feeling good. He was one of our captains today, so you know, I've been hearing a lot about, do you got a kicker? Do you have a kicker? Did you sign a kicker? Well, I said, no, I got a good kicker. And I'm glad to show today that Tyler Scandrick is our kicker for the 17 football season.
Now, we did have some offensive problems, Coach, but eventually toward the end of the second quarter, you started to establish something on the offensive line, and I thought we controlled their defensive line, and Tyler Samuels gave you some good runs.
Yeah, Trey Samuels did give us a couple good runs. But now I think what's happened is we got to figure out how to generate this offense, and we're still trying to feel our way through with a new quarterback and a new offensive line, a lot of little odd and things that we're not quite so sure about yet. So, you know, as we get a little bit better understanding of how to generate offense, I think we'll be better. We probably should have thrown the football, especially play action style, a little bit more the first half than we did. But at the same time, we'll figure that out, and I think we'll be better next week.
One of the things I thought you were able to figure out as well, Coach, is the fact that you do have some go-to weapons and some guys. You knew you had DeMontrez Burrows, Quan Caldwell from last year, but Traquan Dubose came over. He gives you an opportunity. And I know you want to work your tight ends, just weren't able to get them in as much as you wanted to.
And we got a young guy, Trey Churn, that we're trying to get in there who's a tall, thin guy that can run. But at the same time, we do have some weapons at wide receiver, and if we can get to the point where we can figure out how the mix ought to be, then at that point, then I think we got a chance to put together an offense that can carry us for the rest of the year and be a lot better than what we had, especially in the first half today.
All right, it's time now for the Palmetto Health Injury Report. And, Coach, with first games, you're going to have some injuries, have some guys banged up. With the heat, there were a lot of cramps.
I hope it was mostly cramps, and we had quite a few guys that were, you know, coming out of the game and that kind of stuff. Most of it was cramp kind of stuff. We had a couple guys, Traquan Dubose and Deshaun Taylor, that I know got IVs and stuff during the game. So we've had some issues that way. That's kind of what happens when as hot as it is, you're playing as many snaps, especially as our defense was playing. Burrows had a couple plays where he ended up having to miss plays of parts of the game because of cramps too. So we've got to get to the point where we can get past this. Hopefully in the times when we play more night games, we won't have these kinds of issues again.
There's your Palmetto Health Injury Report. We'll take a time out here on the Buddy Pough Show. We'll come back with the all-heart player on this edition of the Buddy Pough Show.
Our sports medicine services are unique because everything we do is driven by education and by research.
We pretty much take care of all the Midlands. We have all the colleges from USC, South Carolina State, Benedict, Newberry.
Everything is designed to bring our resources closer to the patient, closer to the physician, so we can provide excellent care.
Our goal is to get you into our system and back into activity as quick as we can.
I think patients choose us because of the team atmosphere we have here at Palmetto Health USC Orthopedic Center.
Welcome back to the Buddy Pough Show. Coach, this week's all-heart player, guy who's been in the program for a long time, been a part of a great high school program down in Dillon, but when given an opportunity, made the most of it today.
Dare move forward. He was the guy that came in and played some defensive end for us, or whatever they call that outside linebacker that rushes all the time like a defensive end on our team. He think that he's really starting to come on in a way where we can depend on him to be a big play guy. And, you know, he got there today, and Greg Newell has been a good player for us, but Greg's been kind of banged up, and you know, right now it looks like Damu may be the guy. So he made 8 or 9 tackles a day, and you know, just kind of was a stalwart there, making tackles for loss and all kind of stuff. So we thought he was a good player. So we named him the all-heart player this week.
This week's all-heart player to move forward out of Dillon, South Carolina, the all-heart player on this edition of the Buddy Pough Show. We'll take a time out and come back with more on this edition of the Buddy Pough Show.
My first thought was, what is going to happen to me? Am I going to live? My second thought was, I needed to live because I thought about my children.
Betty's mammogram showed a lump in her breast. We surgically removed the cancer.
And Betty was referred to Mabry Cancer Center, where she received chemotherapy and radiation therapy.
It was an opportunity to live again.
The Regional Medical Center. We're changing how you think about health care.
Today, I'm cancer-free.
Since 2002, the lottery has helped award more than 1 million scholarships. So when you play, you're not just taking a chance. You're also giving one.
Our sports medicine services are unique because everything we do is driven by education and by research.
We pretty much take care of all the Midlands. We have all the colleges from USC, South Carolina State, Benedict, Newberry.
Everything is designed to bring our resources closer to the patient, closer to the physician, so we can provide excellent care.
Our goal is to get you into our system and back into activity as quick as we can.
I think patients choose us because of the team atmosphere we have here at Palmetto Health USC Orthopedic Center.
quarterback, DeJuan Ford. The setback is Trey Samuels. Snap back to give it to Samuels over the right side. Samuels cuts inside at the 40, across the 45, at the 50, at the 45, he's at the 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. One man to beat, gets pushed out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Quan Caldwell wide to the left. Play action fake. They throw a screen, little bubble screen to the right side. This is Burrows. Gets across the line of scrimmage, makes a move at the 10, gets inside the 10, down to the 8-yard line is DeMontrez Burrows. Football on the near hash. Wide side is to the quarterback's left. Forward back to pass, looking long, throws it out there, intercepted right at the 5-yard line. Forward, one man to beat. Forward cuts him down at the 35-yard line. Austin Howard, the quarterback. Shotgun formation. And they snap it over his head. He goes back, recovers the football all the way back at the 24-yard line. They went to a point they didn't have any penalties, and then they've come in droves now. There's the snap. It's blocked in the end zone. Bulldogs recover it. It's a touchdown. Oh, he's out of the end zone. The Bulldogs get on the board the unconventional way. The defense comes up with a couple of points. So it's 14-8 now. Shotgun formation now. Austin Howard back to pass. Wrapped up. He's going to the ground. On the sack, Darius Leonard, his second sack of the day, back at the 35-yard line. 3 down linemen for Southern. Bulldogs with an H-back. Sits on the right side on the right tackle. Inside handoff, this is Datron James over the middle at the 30. Datron tackled down at the 32-yard line. Burrows is to the left. Inside handoff again. This is James across the 45 at the 50. Puts his head down to the 40-yard line. That's the end of the third quarter play here from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Our score, Southern 14, South Carolina State 8. Shotgun formation is Austin Howard. Howard, handoff. Edwards in the backfield. That's Ben, not going anywhere. Tackle down. That's Demuth Ford making the play for South Carolina State. Twin sets tight to the line of scrimmage. Usually they've been going over the middle. Now they pitch it outside. This is Edwards. Edwards goes down. Demuth Ford again. Another tackle in the backfield. 12-10 to go. We trail 14-8 to Southern University. Back to pass. Howard looking left. Howard in trouble. Howard gets away. Fumbles the football. It's fought for. It's on the turf, and who comes up with it? Southern comes up with it. Demuth Ford in there. Bruce Johnson in there. Ty Cravens. Ford, the quarterback, settles in. Shotgun formation. Play action fake. Throws it long. Has a man out there. Caught. Traquan DuBose up at the 35-yard line. In motion now is Quan Caldwell. Play action fake forward. This is what he's been wanting all day long at the 40, at the 45, 50, 45. DeJuan Ford reading the option beautifully up to the 39-yard line of Southern. 1st and 10. DeJuan Ford. Ford. In the round, they fumble the football. In the round. Trey Samuels tried to pitch it to Quan Caldwell and mishandled the football, and they drop it on the turf. Long snap count. Now the H-back moves to the left side. They run it to the right side, and they give it to Edwards. Edwards is tripped up. Demuth Ford again, a tackle in the backfield. That's a big tackle. 2 receivers are to the right. McDaniel, 4th down and about 2. They're in the pistol. Edwards is going nowhere near. They hand it off to him. South Carolina State takes over, stops him cold, right at the 25-yard line. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. DeJuan Ford back to pass. Ford looking long. Ford throwing it out there. Has the man out there. Caught. What a nice throw. What a nice catch. Quan Caldwell up at the 48-yard line. Ford at quarterback. Back to pass. Here comes pressure. Ford steps up, throws. Hit, but it's wide open. Oh, he dropped it. Baxley dropped it in the end zone. He was wide open and dropped it in the end zone. And Southern University is going to get the win over South Carolina State. 14 for Southern, 8 for South Carolina State. Coach, coming out in the second half with the way we played in the first half, I didn't see us dominating offensively, but as far as yardage is concerned, we dominated the third quarter, just couldn't get the football in the end zone.
Exactly right. We got it down close in the beginning of the second half, and threw a pick, and then we get it down a time or 2 again and don't get it in. You know, that was kind of the Achilles heel of the whole day. We got it back close. We need to recover that doggone block punt for a touchdown. We got a safety out of it, but at the same time, we didn't quite do enough on offense, and that cost us the football game.
You start talking about this team. Southern could not rebound offensively. They lost their mojo, and that has to be attributed to just how well you played on defense. They really couldn't find it. However, one of the key statistics in this football game. They were 11 of 19 in third downs. We were 0 for 10 in third downs in the ball game.
Our issue was that we couldn't keep the football and we couldn't get it away from them. So I don't know exactly what the time of possession numbers were, but I guarantee you they were a good bit higher for them than it was for us. And the fact that we couldn't get the football away from them because they just kept it, you know, was as effective for them as actually scoring. So yeah, we stopped them on defense, but we didn't stop them. They kept getting first downs and we eventually got them stopped. We bent too much. And then from there, you know, they kind of, you know, didn't give us a chance to do much on offense in a way that was consistent enough to give us a chance to win the game.
In the second half, I thought DeJuan Ford started to come into his own as a quarterback. The running game really started to kind of come around. Jerry Jenkins came off the bench and gave you a big run there of 11 yards and 1 carry. So some things are really starting to happen positively on offense in a tough loss.
I wish I had given it to Jarris again. You know, we ended up going with the little reverse play that we threw in the first half. We kind of configured a little bit differently, and you know, it worked out. We didn't quite make it happen the second time, but we did have some success, and we did turn the football over. I guess probably the big part of the whole deal was the 2 turnovers, because we got it down close one time at the beginning of the third quarter, and they intercepted the ball, and you know, we got it down again at the end of the second, I guess, fourth quarter a couple of times, and you know, didn't get it in. So that was probably the tail of the tape for us today.
MEAC SWAC Challenge is done. It was a positive experience from the standpoint of the way we played, but of course the loss is difficult, but the season continues. It doesn't get easier. The home opener next week against Charleston Southern at our place. This is not the Charleston Southern that we grew up with.
Oh, no, it's not. And you know, they are as good as any team in South Carolina in the championship subdivision way. So, you know, we got our work cut out for us. They'll be in there next Saturday night, and you know, it's great that we get a chance to hurry up and get back into the action that way, because the last thing you're looking for is to sit and brood over this loss. We'll get back to Charleston and get back home and hopefully go home and play good this coming Saturday night.
Talk about playing good, Coach. I want you to comment one more time on your quarterback. It's such an important position. DeJuan Ford really improved in the second half, had command of the football game. Just the total team just couldn't make the plays.
You're right. We did do a better job protecting him, too. That kind of helped us a little bit. We found a way to protect him. Couldn't quite figure that out in the first half, but he got a chance to actually stand back there and make some throws. And, you know, I was proud of the guy. You know, he ran the football a little bit, and, you know, he's not the guy that's going to go the distance, because there was a time or two there, but he broke out there, and I said, ooh, run. But at the same time, he's a gamer that way, and I'm looking forward to seeing what we can actually develop with him to get him to the point where he can be a good player that way for us.
All right, that's going to do it for this week. South Carolina State going down in defeat to Southern University in the MEAC SWAC Challenge. Southern wins at 14-8. Next week, the Bulldogs return home to take on Charleston Southern. We hope to see you next week down in Orangeburg when the Bulldogs kick off the home season against Charleston Southern. And of course, next week, right here on Fox Sports Southeast on the Buddy Pough Show.
Thank you for watching the Buddy Pough Show, featuring highlights of SC State University Bulldogs football. Our sponsors are the County of Orangeburg, Palmetto Health, the South Carolina Education Lottery, the Regional Medical Center, State Farm Insurance Russ Hewitt Agency, Simmons Funeral Home, Vital Care EMS, and the City of Orangeburg. Join us again next week for highlights of SC State University Bulldogs football.